What's going on YouTube? Today we're taking a look at the brand new Google Pixel 6 Pro. This is going to be my review and I'm going to have a couple more videos coming in the near future. So definitely click that like and subscribe button if you don't want to miss out on my new content. And check me out over on Instagram and Twitter where I post a bunch of pictures almost daily from the 6 Pro here. If you're about photography, if the camera is your #1 main thing, definitely check me out over there. But this is going to be a comprehensive review on the Google 6 Pro in Sorta Sunny. Let's get into it and check it out together. So this is it. This is Google's flagship device, and I can finally say it's a flagship device. The Google Pixel 5 was their flagship, but it was not a flagship device. And in terms of looks, it looked like just about any other phone out there. Turning the Pixel 6 Pro over, this does not look like anything you've seen before. And I think Google did a nice job with giving us a unique design that stands out from the crowd of Android and even iPhone users. If you see this in the street, you're definitely going to know that person is part of Team Pixel. Just look at that camera array. I mean, that's something special and unique for sure. There's no denying that camera bar is massive, and Google's not trying to hide it, and I do give them credit for that. It's also a great way for those of you that like to use your phone raw dog, just to go ahead and place your finger right underneath that camera bar. It kind of rests perfectly, if I'm honest with you guys, but I know most of you do put a case on. And once you do put a case on this device, that camera hump is no longer really noticeable. That camera hump no longer stands out. But you can still see it. So if you were in the streets and you saw this horizontal bar on the phone, they're part of Team Pixel. This is the brand new Pixel 6. But other than that, let's talk about some of the key specs. And this isn't going to be a spec-heavy video, but it's important to know what the key specs are. Starting with this beautiful 6.7-inch panel, 3120 by 1440 gives you 512 ppi. It's covered in Gorilla Glass Victus on the front and on the back as well, and you do get 120 Hz for that refresh. It's an LPTO screen, so that refresh rate is going to vary depending on what you're doing to conserve battery life. So well done for Google on that. Again, premium flagship is the name of the game. IP68 is your water and dust. You get this beautiful aluminum frame all around the outside. So it is a premium feeling flagship, but thankfully it's not super heavy in the hand. This, even though it's a large device, to be honest with you guys, does not feel heavy at all. And if you don't want to use a case, if you're a little bit daring, you can use this in one hand. It is a one-handable device. This happens to be the Sorta Sunny, but there's also a white and there's also a black. Inside, you can have 128 gigabytes starting for your storage, and it goes all the way up to 512 with 12 gigabytes of RAM. So definitely enough for most people. If you take a lot of video, you're going to want to go for that 512 version. Now, the cameras this year, of course, are something unique, not only in design, but also in what they can do. And I'm really excited to show you my camera samples. But on the back here, you get a 50 megapixel wide as your primary, 48 megapixel as your telephoto, and a 12 megapixel ultra wide. On the front is where you have that 11 megapixel ultra wide as well selfie shooter. That's all I want to talk about when it comes to specs. Now let's talk about the enjoyment of using the brand new Google Pixel phone. This is a device that I always wanted from Google. This is a device that I can be proud to have in my pocket. This is a device that I can be proud to put next to any other device out there because it also uses Google's brand new Tensor chip with an emphasis on AI, and the AI is only going to improve over time. But I really like what Google's done with it, and I really like the smoothness, and I really like the responsiveness of this device. I've had no times where this is bogged down on me, no times in regular usage where this is kind of started in any particular way. Now, I'm not a super heavy gamer, guys, but this is definitely going to play games when you want it to. This is definitely going to be that gaming device that you wanted from Google. And thanks to this large screen, you're definitely going to be able to enjoy all that content. This does have stereo speakers, so you have one firing speaker on the bottom, and it uses a top earpiece. Just to give you a little example, take a listen.
What's going on YouTube? Today we're doing a massive case review for the brand new Google Pixel 6 Pro. These are cases from Google themselves, Spigen, Ghost Tech, and Poetic. With 5 years of security updates now, thanks to having Google's own Tensor chip, it's time to protect your device for the long term, keep it looking fresh, keep it looking clean. Case is the way to do it. Let's check them out together. The brand new Google Pixel 6 Pro is definitely unique. It's definitely recognizable out on the streets, so you don't want to cover it up.
One thing I'm not a super fan of, guys, is #1, the curved screen. I really think Google should get away from curved screen. I think all manufacturers should get away from that curved screen. You can see that glare just kind of riding on the edges there as the light hits it. And I'm also not really a fan of in-display fingerprint readers. Now, I know this is the future. I know this is where everything's going, but it's just not as convenient as having the fingerprint scanner on the back. This optical scanner on the back was pretty much perfect if you ask me. With the Google Pixel 6 Pro, it does take a little long to unlock, and sometimes it doesn't even recognize my finger. Of course, on camera, that's not going to be the case, but there has been times where both of my thumbs weren't recognized. So I kind of wish they left it on the back, but I know technology doesn't wait for anybody. If you're left in the Stone Ages, that's where you're left. I just would like to see this technology get a little bit better. And even if it's not the greatest at the moment, I think Google also should have put in a facial unlock feature. Every flagship out there just about has a facial unlock. Google Pixel 6 Pro does not, maybe in a future Pixel drop. But again, don't buy tech for what might happen in the future. Buy tech for what's there today. There are other ways to keep your device from being locked, and that's with a smart lock feature. Using the smart lock feature, it'll recognize on-body detection, trusted places, or trusted devices. If you always wear a smartwatch, pair this up with this smart lock feature, and it's going to keep your device unlocked. Same goes for trusted places or on-body detection, so there are other ways around it, but facial unlock would have been a feature that I like personally. Let me know which is your best way to unlock your phone down in the comments below. There's a couple things that make a Pixel device, and there's a couple settings you can only get if you're part of Team Pixel. One of these things is called Now Playing, and what this will do is it'll keep a running tally, if you enable it of course, of all the songs that have been going on in the background, so you can go back to it and say, what did I hear on Monday that I really liked when I was out at that restaurant? And you can see Just the Two of Us by Bill Withers. And you can go back and see your history from just about as long as you've had the phone. And it's a great way to just keep track of those songs around you without being that person that Shazams their phone to the speaker when you're out and about. This is a way to discreetly have Google just keep a running tally. And this is something that I've really enjoyed when I've had Pixel phones, and it's something I've been accustomed to. You do get Pixel drops from time to time that increase or enhance the usability of the device. You also get Google Assistant throughout the entire phone. You get the Google goodness throughout the entire phone, including Hold for Me. If you ever called a company and been waiting on hold, listening to that elevator music for hours and hours, Hold for Me will do that for you. When someone comes on the line, it'll let you know, and you can pick up your phone and go throughout your conversation. I like the spam and call screen option as well. I get less and less calls about my car warranty thanks to having this call screen option. And you can manually send people to your Google Assistant as well, which is definitely fun if you want to troll your friends. So again, there's a lot of Google Pixel magic that come with every single Pixel device, making this a great purchase overall. One thing I do like, I'm all about customization. I kind of wish Google would let us use our own icon packs. Maybe in the future they will, but for right now, they have this kind of color theme picker that's going to change the accent color depending on whatever your background wallpaper is. So if I give you a little example here, let's click on home screen, click on that little check button, click on home screen once again. You can see that even the little widget from Google has changed its color theme as well. And all my accent colors for the toggles and whatnot. And my clock on the lock screen has changed up as well. So if you change your wallpaper just as often as I do, this is a nice little touch. This is a nice little design cue that I give Google credit for. Again, I'd like to see custom icons. Let me know what you think about that down in the comments below. The Google Pixel experience, the Pixel Magic Dust that I like to call it, is also found within the camera app. And this year, we get a super awesome feature called Magic Eraser. What Magic Eraser will do is you can select certain subjects in your frame and automatically get rid of them. Just to show you an example of the Magic Eraser, the Pixel Magic Fairy Dust I like to call it, it's going to automatically detect humans in your shot and you can erase them, making this a much better, much more photographic picture. I think this is an awesome feature and it's something you can have a lot of fun with. And again, you can just select certain individuals if you want to. So if you just want to get rid of that one dude, you can go ahead and do that. If you want to get rid of the crosswalk, you can go ahead and get rid of that crosswalk as well. Again, you can have a lot of fun with this, and it's a Magic Eraser that's built into the 6 Pro's camera app. I think this is a great feature, and it's something I wanted to show you guys. Another thing that makes a Pixel device is the ability to get updates right away, on time, before anybody else that you know. This is going to get 3 years of updates now. Being Google's first true flagship with their own Tensor chip, I kind of hope they would have upped the game and given us 5 years of updates, but they are giving us 5 years of security updates. I would have liked to have seen 5 years of actual Android OS updates just to keep it on par with iPhone devices. After all, this is Google's own chip. They should be able to maintain it for a little bit longer, but they are giving us 5 years of security updates and 3 years of OS updates. If updates are your thing and you want to be the first on your block to sport the latest update, the Pixel device is definitely the way for you. But the number one thing people do with their phones is take video, is take photos, and Pixel devices have always been, at least of late, the best devices to have. Ask anyone who has a Pixel 5 or below why they chose the Pixel device, and they're going to tell you it's for the camera. And I'm going to show you some samples here, and I do have a bunch more samples on Instagram and Twitter, so make sure to follow me there if you're interested in seeing more shots from this device, and I am going to show you some samples as well. But I like what Google's done with the new camera sensors. This is taking some of the best photos that I've taken so far, better than last year's, better than the year before. This has just been an awesome camera experience, and let me know what you think about the camera samples down in the comments below. You can look at these stills. This is super impressive, and that telephoto lens is definitely where Google shines this year. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's a chopper. You can see I zoomed into the sky and I found out that there was a helicopter flying. And just take a look at how far it was. This is something you couldn't do with the Pixel 5. This is something that a lot of phones can't do. But I think Google's done a really good job with the camera. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. Now, quite honestly, I've been super impressed with the camera on the Google Pixel 6 Pro. And I'm not much of a vlogger, but this is definitely changing my mind. I'm thinking the quality is pretty good. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about the quality. Now let's switch back to the front-facing camera. I feel like we're walking around. I mean, it's gotta be. You're going to want to watch a lot of multimedia. You're going to want to take a lot of shots. Now, how is this battery going to compare? I got to say, this is a one-day battery. I haven't really made it to a second day unless I really didn't do too much with it. But on a daily basis, if I'm taking phone calls, text messages, trolling the web, doing my usual, you know how it goes, guys. It's a day's battery. It's not anywhere near the Pixel 5. I got to be honest with you. The Pixel 5 definitely was a 2-day type of phone. But again, we did not have that high refresh rate. We didn't have this beautiful large screen on the front. But I think for most people, we expect to charge our phones on a daily basis anyway. And thanks to having faster wireless charging at 23 watts on the back and 30 watts for wired charging up this device is pretty fast. But it's not really going to last more than a day. Now you can see I fully charged it at about 6 p.m. yesterday, and it's about 1 o'clock, and I have about 14% left, and I really didn't do all that much with it. About an hour's worth of music, WhatsApp, etc., etc. But again, guys, it's about a day's battery life. Now, this might get better over time. I know the Pixel 5 with the adaptive battery took a little while to really hone in on how I use my device and give me better battery life. So again, I will update you guys. After a week, though, I am still getting about a day, maybe a little bit more, but not much after I wake up in the morning. So expect to charge this just about every day, guys. That's what it is when it comes to these larger devices. I just think this is a great device. And again, I've been using this for about a week, and I will update you later on. I will have another maybe 1 month or 2 month later review on the Pixel 6 Pro. But I got to tell you right now, if you're in the market for a new device and you are thinking about the Pixel 6 Pro, do not hesitate. Go and buy this device. You are going to be super happy. The camera is awesome. Software updates are awesome. The smoothness of this device is definitely awesome as well. Now, if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. I always try to answer your comments. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I do answer comments. If you haven't been following me for a while, now's the time to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in another video.